Welcome to Threes and TDs, a podcast all about the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League. Today we are discussing what happened today in practice with the Carolina Panthers, what the media talked about in terms of injuries and all that stuff. So let's get right to it today. Corey Thornton continues to impress. Corey Thornton, the undrafted cornerback out of Louisville, is played phenomenal again. I think he is. It would be shocking if he didn't make the team, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because, if JC goes down, we are very, very just thin at the cornerback position. So I think him being there can only be a good thing. So JC Horn did a presser today, and he was essentially asked, why did Corey essentially not get drafted? And he said he should have been drafted. But his numbers, if you look at the raw scores, his numbers don't pop off. When you look at Corey's stuff, you're not like, oh my gosh. But he is phenomenal in so many different ways. He does so many things well, and he is telling the coaching staff, I need to be on this team. He is telling the coaching staff, you need to put me on this team. And once again, Corey Thornton is probably going to be the same version of that Jalen Coker was last year. And so, I don't know. If he pans out and he turns out to be a really good starter for this team, kudos Dan Morgan. Tell me the last time this team, or really any team, got back-to-back draft picks that were undrafted that turned out to be starters for their team. That never happens, almost ever. You got to think of maybe the Rams or the Ravens or the Eagles, these really good scouting organizations that know what to do. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Corey Thornton continues to impress. And at every position group, the only having competition is a good thing. Everybody's talking about what's going to happen with Jimmy Horn and what's going to happen with Hunter Renfrow. They're going to want Bryce can only throw the ball 25 to 30 times a game. It's when you go from 2019 to 2023, devoid of talent, the way this team has been, and then you get competition, it's phenomenal. It's really, really, really good. So let's segue into Cade Mays and Austin Corbett. So I didn't get to talk about this yesterday, but Austin Corbett has won the starting center position. Dave Canales came out and talked about how Corbett won that position. And he said it was close, but essentially it's the experience. If you remember last year, Corbett was the center. He got hurt. And they just had to kind of readjust about what happened. But he wins the position. Well, that's phenomenal. We can talk about that a little more. He's going to be the starting center. I do have concerns about Corbett and what's going to happen with that center position, because he does have an injury history. But I want it to work out. But regardless, I don't have an issue with Corbett being the center. What was really interesting today is Mike K was reporting that Cade Mays was playing at the guard position. So it's very, very interesting. It's we thought that Cade Mays was going to be the backup center. Well, now we come to find out that Cade Mays is playing guard. And I saw a tweet today where it was essentially saying, there might be a possibility that this was announced because they thought that Damian Lewis, who is one of our starting guards, is going to go out. Damian Lewis, his injury might be deeper than we think it is. And Robert Hunt has been playing fine, but there have been a couple ankle things with him during training camp. And so I just want to say this is a good problem to have. When you are so deep at the offensive line, which there are two position groups that we have never been this deep on. One is wide receiver, the other one is offensive line. This group has never been this deep offensively at those two position groups. And it is a wonderful problem to have, because now even if Lewis misses some time, you have Cade Mays to be able to do that. Now, we don't have a whole lot of reps with Cade Mays at guard, so it may not pan out. Like, we don't know. But once again, the fact that we have depth. When Brady Christensen re-signed last offseason with the Panthers, everybody's like, what are we doing? We don't need another offensive line. This is why you re-signed Christensen. This is why you re-signed Mays. This is why it is a really good thing to have this much offensive line depth. It is phenomenal to have this much depth. So I'm really, really excited about the fact that, how many times do you hear about a team having an injury on the offensive line and it messes up their running attack? Dave Canales wants to run the ball. He's talked about that since day one. You need a good offensive line to do that. We have depth at that position group. So I don't know. I think that those are the two things I wanted to talk about today. Corey Thornton continues to show out. JC had some wonderful things to say about him, and Corbett wins the starting job, but Mays is playing guard now as Damian Lewis. As Damian Lewis gets healthy. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. If y'all have any questions, I want to do. I'm also on I'm on X on Twitter, so you can find me threes at TDs. Over there or here if you want to leave a comment and say, hey, what questions do y'all have? Because I would like to do a mailbag and kind of do one of those once a week just to kind of break up the episodes as well. So anyways, thank you all for liking, subscribing. I'll see y'all in the next one.